What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Bruce Bolt Meet the Pro series. I'm Bear Mayer, the founder and CEO of Bruce Bolt, and today I'm interviewing one of the newest members of our team, Riley Adams, catcher for the Washington Nationals. Our last interview was actually with Harrison Bader of the St. Louis Cardinals, so we wanted to follow up this week with someone who hasn't been with Bruce Bolt nearly as long as he has. I wrote up a couple of questions for us to ask Riley so we can get to know him a little bit better as a person and as a player, and I'm excited to get started. Riley, are you ready, or you want to introduce yourself at all?
Well, thanks for having me on for starters. This is obviously my first year rocking the Bruce Bolt. I've thoroughly been enjoying it so far, and the season's still young, but I'm excited for the future year with Bruce Bolt.
Awesome. All right. So first of all, just how are you doing today?
Yeah, today we're doing good. We're down here in Miami getting ready for our third game of the series with them, and so far so good. Everything's been going well.
Can you tell us where you are and what you're doing right now?
Yeah, down here in Miami, just getting ready for that for our final game of the series with them before we head off to Milwaukee for a weekend series. So just kind of getting ready, getting prepped, and gonna head over to the field pretty soon and get started with everything to get ready for the game.
I've got a quick question. When you travel like you're going to after the game today up to Milwaukee, what's that like? Do you finish the game and then you've got like a time period to get everything packed and ready to go jump on a plane? Or is it a little bit
Yeah,
more planned out?
I'd say it's a little bit more planned out than that, but yeah, once the game's over, it's kind of get everything packed and loaded, and uh, you know, less than an hour after the game's over, we're already on the buses headed to the airport, getting ready to go up there. So we have a night game tonight, and and I don't know how long the flight it is from Miami to Milwaukee, but I think we're going to get in pretty late in the night, and yeah, it's kind of the normal life, kind of what you get used to is some late nights, some weird travel hours and things like that. But you just got to make sure every day you get ready to play and get the body ready to go.
So you get pretty used to making sure you're not fatigued for the next day and just getting sleep on the plane becomes kind of a normal thing.
Oh, for sure. The recovery side of it, and making sure your body's healthy is the most important part. And obviously, everyone knows, and we travel a ton throughout it. So making sure everyone has their own routines, everyone has their own ways of making sure their body stays healthy, making sure their body is recovered as best as they can every single day. That's that's huge for baseball and huge for making sure you're ready for the whole year.
How are things going with Washington right now? And I'm assuming you're feeling healthy and good right now.
Yeah, feeling good, feeling healthy. Um, we got a good young team. Uh, we obviously have Juan Soto, and he's just a fun guy to watch. He's a fun guy to to get a front row seat to see him work and see the things he does to get himself ready every day. And obviously, everyone sees what he does on the field, but he's just a great guy. He's a good leader, and you know, good guy to bounce ideas off of and talk to. And it's a fun group to be around.
Absolutely. Before we jump into a little bit more baseball centric things, I'd love to have our viewers get to know you a little bit more. Can you tell us where you grew up?
Yeah, I'm a Southern California kid. Grew up in San Diego, California, my whole life, um, and I went to high school down there. Went to college at the University of San Diego, um, and yeah, I was originally drafted by the Blue Jays and traded from the Blue Jays to the Nationals last year at the trade deadline. So um, yeah, always been a Southern California kid. Um, San Diego's one of my favorite places in the world, but yeah, it's I'm a little ways away over here in Washington and traveling all over, but San Diego will always be home to me.
Absolutely. Do you have any brothers and sisters who played any sports growing up with you?
Yeah, I have one older brother, um, and yeah, him and I kind of grew up together, playing all the same sports. Both played basketball and baseball in high school, and um, yeah, it was always fun for me to compete, and I always play against him. And him being older, it kind of challenged me a lot. So I enjoyed that element, and um, yeah, he always helped me out, and yeah, he was a good person to have to growing up, and yeah, mess around with and do everything like that.
You mentioned that you played high school basketball. One of our questions always is, how do you feel about, there's now this kind of common argument of, should you just stick to your sport, or should you branch out and like play other sports, develop your game in other aspects? And so I just kind of want to see, with you also being a high school basketball player, where do
Yeah,
you sit with, parents telling their kid whether they should do this or that?
yeah, I've heard that a ton. Everyone talks about the specialization of sport and things like that. And it was definitely something difficult for me because I always knew baseball was the sport that I wanted to play in the future, and is the sport that I always felt like I had the biggest chance of going places with. But um, I had many people telling me that I gotta I gotta stop playing other sports. I gotta commit to one, and ultimately my parents were the ones that kept telling me, "Hey, go have fun. Like, when the time comes, you're gonna play baseball full time, but for the time being, like, you know, play as many sports as you want, try as many different things as you want." Ultimately, I think playing basketball, especially for me in high school, was huge just for kind of maintaining athleticism and just doing something different. I think so much too. You see a lot of kids that they get burnt out of a sport. They they play one sport their whole life and never really try anything else. That kind of towards the end of high school, they're just kind of over it, and they don't want to play it anymore. And that's a real shame. But for me, it was nice because for the couple months of the winter when basketball season's going on, I really wasn't playing much baseball. And I thinking back to high school and thinking back to when I played basketball and did both. I have more memory of high school baseball just because it was something different for me. It was a little bit more of a challenge to play. I never really had the most skill as a basketball player, but I like the kind of like the physical element of it and banging into guys and just doing something different. So I'm thoroughly happy that I was able to play a couple sports in high school and uh, do something different. And yeah, if anyone ever asks me, I'll always tell them to play as many sports as possible. And if you're good enough at your sport, if you're good enough at what you do, someone's going to find you, someone's going to see you, and the opportunities are always going to present themselves. But there's no need to specialize too early, and I'll be a firm believer of that.
A great answer. I like that. Beside or not, what do your parents do for a living? What did they do when you were growing up?
Yeah, I'm both athletics and things like that were always kind of in the back, or just always at the forefront for our family. And um, my dad actually played basketball in college, uh, uh, and my mom played pretty much every sport growing up in high school. And um, she didn't play any sports in college, but very athletic. And so the athleticism always was there in our family and everything. So um, yeah, growing up, my dad worked at the local university in San Diego. So in the summers and things like that, I was always able to go down, hang out with him, and he worked in athletics. So I was always around the everything there, and I got to use a college campus kind of as my backyard during the summers. And Um, so it was a pretty good environment. My brother and I would always go down there and just shoot hoops for hours, or play baseball or football or whatever sport we wanted for the day. And there was always something to do. And we got to know a lot of the coaches and things like that at the university pretty well. And when I was, gosh, I don't even know. I mean, when I was not even 3 years old, the baseball coach at the university my dad worked at he was actually the first guy that actually got me into baseball. And he bought me my first baseball glove. And oddly enough, it was a left-handed glove, because he always wanted me to be a left-handed pitcher, because in his mind that was the best position for getting to the big leagues. But I learned pretty quickly that I am not a lefty, and I'm a very stock righty. So yeah, that was short lived, but I think making the choice to swing the bat kind of worked a little bit.
Seems like it did for sure. I watched you hit a mammo tank the other night. It was incredible. So was it at USD? Was it the head baseball coach at USD who got you into baseball, or what? Where was it that your dad was
No,
at?
no, my dad worked at kind of the other school down the street,
Gotcha.
UC San Diego. It's the public one, where I went to the University of San Diego, the kind of smaller private school there. But yeah, he worked at UC San Diego, and it was the baseball coach there, a guy named Dan O'Brien, was the head coach at the time. And he was kind of the one that first got me into baseball. And yeah, he was played a huge part in my role there.
So now that you are where you are, do you still keep in contact with him? Has he been a part of your life up to this point?
Yeah, yeah, he's always been a part of my life there. And yeah, we'll catch up from time to time. And when I was in college at the University of San Diego, he was the head coach up at Santa Clara University, which was in our conference. And so we played each other a lot. And it was always kind of a fun, friendly competition against that. And yeah, he's always kind of been there. And yeah, we'll definitely talk from time to time. So
So
it was a good relationship that we've had for a while.
love it. So that was a great first round of questioning. Mix it up real quick. I told you we've got our lightning round. It's about 10 questions, super easy, just whatever comes to your head, and we'll get through it really quick.
All
All
right.
right. First question. What's your favorite junk food?
Oh, my favorite junk food. I gotta say, I'm a huge Cheetos Puffs fan. Has to be the Puffs though.
If you could be any animal, what animal would it be and why?
I feel like always wanted to be a monkey, because they can just kind of fly around and do whatever they want, and they seem to have a good sense of humor. And I don't know, I don't know. Monkey's always been the one that I've gravitated towards when I've heard those questions.
If your life was a movie, what actor would play you and why?
If my life was a movie, ah, it would be cool if get like a Brad Pitt or something like that. He's just a good looking dude. But maybe I'll go Ryan Reynolds. Let's go Ryan Reynolds. He seems like a cool guy. Everything he does is cool. So yeah, if he could play my life, that would be pretty sick.
You're the second guy to say Ryan Reynolds. Ian, I think it was Ian who said it a couple interviews ago. So that's pretty
Yeah,
funny.
it's a good pick.
Yeah, it's a great pick. I agree with that one. I would totally choose Ryan Reynolds too. Um, do you prefer talking on the phone or texting?
I think talking on the phone. It's a little more one on one. Yeah, I would definitely go with talking.
What's your favorite day of the week?
Favorite day of the week. I I'd have to go with just a good Sunday. It's great in the off season. It's great during the season. You get love me a good day game during the week, and get the evening to kind of go explore where you're at. Or Sundays off seasons are always fun too. So yeah, I'd go Sunday.
What is the last song that you listened to?
Um, gosh, I don't know a specific song, but if it's a band, it's definitely Blink 182. So doesn't matter what the song is. There's a strong chance that I'm listening to that.
Favorite holiday?
Favorite holiday? Oh, Christmas for sure. Um, that's it's just the best time with family. Get to spend there, and uh, yeah, that's the best.
In a perfect world, what age would you want to retire from baseball?
Oh man, well we got we got Nelson Cruz with us, and he's uh, he's over 40. So I think if I could get there, that would be quite the feat because it's pretty special what he's doing, and you know the way his body can stay that sharp and perform like it is. Yeah, that would be quite the goal.
What was your favorite childhood show?
Favorite childhood show? Ooh, um, gosh, I didn't really watch much TV as like a child. At least none that like I could I could really remember. Felt like if anything, it was just Sports Center and in the morning, and that was about it. So yeah, I don't really have a specific favorite childhood show, I guess.
I would so you mentioned you watch sports a lot, like Sports Center and stuff. I would say Sports Center
Yeah.
was I would wake up every morning and just
Oh yeah.
quick pitch when I was younger. So
Oh
um
yeah. That was the easy go to. You know, in the mornings and at night, just turn on the Sports Center and whoever was on. Yeah, that was the easy one.
and last but not least, where do you want to travel to most in the world?
Ooh. Well, there's a ton of places I've never been to. So, I mean, Costa Rica is pretty high up there. You know, I love playing golf, and that's kind of the way I like to spend my off season. So, love to get up to kind of the Monterey coast. There's some good golf courses up there, like Pebble Beach and things like that. And so, yeah, I'd probably want to go there too. So, those are probably the two places pretty high on the list right now.
Are you a big golfer in the off season?
Oh, huge golfer. Yeah, that's kind of the way I like to spend my off seasons. Um, always trying to perfect that game and everything, and just waiting for Bruce Bolt to come out with some golf clubs, and then I'll be set. Uh, no, like, golf's the way to go. It's kind of my fun little escape from reality, and yeah, I enjoy it a lot.
Well, we might have you set up with some Bruce Bolt golf clubs sooner than you think. I actually got into golf after my senior year. My dad got me golf. He got me golf clubs for
Oh
a
yeah,
graduation gift,
there
and
you go.
so I've been, I'll be up at school. I'll take a day out of the week to go play, and we're here and there with it. Either we hit the ball straight or we hit it 500 yards to the left or right, but
Yeah.
we're figuring it out slowly but surely. But yeah, I love that you mentioned golf because that's something that I feel like most baseball players, when they get done or even just in the off season, like golf is what they pick up.
Oh, for sure. No, there's a lot of similarities in them, but yeah, no, it's a constant quest for hitting good shots. They don't come often, but they're uh, they're fun, and no, it's just a fun way for that I enjoy just relaxing and spending time outside.
I feel like with both baseball and golf, it's a lot of as much as it is, being able to have good eye-hand coordination and everything. It's mental more than anything.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, that's a big portion, and you know, with baseball at least you're on a team, and you know if someone if you're not able to get the job done, you got someone right behind you that you trust to get it done for you. But in golf, yeah, you hit a bad shot, you do something, it's hey, it's on you to get yourself out of it. And yeah, you're kind of there's no one really around you. You're just kind of out there on your own. So it's a huge mental test, and it's kind of a fun way I like to kind of keep my mind going and keep my mind fresh during the off season. It's just a fun little test.
Oh, great way to end the lightning round there. End it with a little bit of golf. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. So a lot of guys, when we talk to them, they talk about how much their gear means to them. Their elbow guards, like their socks they're wearing, what
Sure.
everything means so much to y'all. And I just think it's crazy that even now when I don't play any sports, I still care about, the clothes I'm wearing and like how they're making me feel. How much do you personally as a player care about the gear you're wearing and how it's making you feel at the plate, and how much does that factor into everything?
Yeah, I think it's huge. I feel like especially at this level, you're even more exact about every little detail and every little feel. Um, because if something just feels slightly off, it kind of makes it a little bit of a challenge. Um, yeah, and for me, like when I go up to the plate, I like feeling like my hands are absolutely glued to the bat, and I like feeling like I literally I can't release the bat. I mean, if I could take my hands to the bat, I probably would. Um, so I originally saw Bruce Bolt when I was looking for pine tar, and it was your pine tar that was the first thing I got. Because I wasn't using your guys' batting gloves last year, but I was using the pine tar, and I was just amazed at just you get some of these other sticks that kind of work for a little bit, and but every time you go up to hit, you got to keep reapplying, and if it gets hot and humid out, it gets slippery, and so I first started using your pine tar, and it was just like, to me, it was the best pine tar I've ever seen. It's real pine tar, and it comes in a stick that's reusable, and gosh, I'll put pine tar on my bat in the morning, and it'll be good throughout the whole game. And so I first started using the pine tar, and then I finally started seeing the batting gloves and things like that, and I just knew I had to give that a try because I figured the quality of the pine tar was so good, everything else had to match. So um, yeah, for me at least, like I like simplicity. I don't like the mega flashy things, and I love the look of the batting gloves. I love the leather of them, the way they feel and stuff. So yeah, you kind of combine everything, and then recently I've been playing around with your guys' back grip too, and I feel like it's just the combination of everything. My hands feel like they're just absolutely glued to the bat, and it's an easy feeling when I feel like my hands are kind of glued to the bat. It almost allows me to kind of loosen my grip on the bat, and I always feel like, I don't know what the science is behind it, but in my mind, I feel like there's a way it makes it easier for putting more power into the swing rather than worrying about throwing a bat or doing anything like that. So um, yeah, I think yeah, you just get more detailed about every little thing when you're playing baseball, and every little detail and how it fits and how it feels. So yeah, that's huge. It's huge for baseball, and yeah, that's a big part.
Well, I love to hear that you started out with our pine tar, because I mean that was our first thing. That's how Bruce Bolt kind of started before the
Yeah,
clubs, is we were only doing pine tar, and we actually ran. I don't know if you remember, but we had a short little stint where we were out of it because our supplier was like, "Hey, I can't do this for you guys right now," and that was our biggest request. Like, we would get requests for glove colors, this, that. Our biggest request by far was, when are you getting more pine tar in, and can
yeah.
you bring it back? So it's funny, that's how you found us. But back when I was playing, I loved that stuff. It was like most top tier in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, I think I was one of the people that was just barely getting through the end of the year last year with my last stick, and trying to make it last because yeah, I remember you saying the suppliers were down, so I was like, well, we got to make this work through the end of the year. But thankfully it's back up, and I got plenty of sticks to last me a while now.
Being in Southern California your whole life, was your favorite team one of those Southern California teams, or who was your favorite team growing up?
Yeah, I I mean, I was always kind of a Padres fan, um, but honestly, for me, I was just a huge, like, I like to follow players, and I like to watch what players did. I mean, the first big league game I ever went to when I was a kid was the Padres versus the Giants, and I was watching Tony Gwynn and Barry Bonds go at it, and it was pretty cool to watch. Obviously, Tony Gwynn is a huge part of San Diego sports and specifically baseball. But yeah, growing up, I just honestly I was way more of a fan of just watching players and watching how guys uh, went about their business, and just the little details that those guys did. I mean, um, it was a little bit later in my childhood, but Buster Posey was a guy that I just loved to watch. And obviously, he's a catcher and um, everything like that. So that was a plus. But yeah, he was just a guy that I just loved to watch. And he always played Padres, and anytime they were down in San Diego, I was begging my parents to go to those games uh, and check him out. But yeah, I think if there's any team, it was probably a Padres. But more so, I was just a huge fan of the players and huge fan of those guys.
Awesome. All right, let's jump into a little bit more baseball related questions. So you said earlier you went to University of San Diego. Was that a little bit of a dream school for you, or what was the what factored into you going and playing there?
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny. It was I wouldn't say it was a dream school. It just kind of fell into place. I think when I was in high school, and I was kind of getting recruited and talking to other schools and things like that. I didn't. I was always looking outward. I was looking at I definitely knew I wanted to stay on the West Coast. I was looking at some of the Pac-12 schools and some big West ones and things like that. And yeah, I guess I was also because I didn't really specialize in along with when we were talking earlier about playing one sport. I also wasn't the guy going to every single showcase and doing every little thing like that, because I think as parents you can kind of waste a lot of money for these showcases and things like that. But yeah, I wasn't like a high on any specific recruit list. So yeah, I was kind of looking outward and looking at all these other schools. I kind of wanted to go to I originally wanted to go to a big school with a big football team and get the Saturday football experience and everything like that. But it wasn't until my fall of senior year when USD finally came into picture, and they kind of started talking to me a little bit more. And it was just one of those situations where it just kind of all made sense. That I was like, well, this is a school that wants me, and this is a school that I've seen and I've been around, and I know the place pretty well just because it's so. Yeah, it just kind of was one of those situations that worked out the best, and they showed the most interest in me, and made me the most excited to go there. So yeah, I wasn't originally thinking about staying in San Diego, but I think ultimately it all worked out for the best.
For sure. When I was doing a little bit of research earlier, I saw that you were also recruited. You said Pac-12. I saw Stanford came for you, Washington, also UC Santa Barbara. Vanderbilt was in there, which is huge. Every guy dreams of being recruited by Vanderbilt. So with you also said you wanted to go to school that was kind of like big D1 football program,
Yeah.
and you were talking a little bit, USD was just kind of the answer. What kind of, I guess, just a little further into it, what pushed you to go to a smaller school like that rather than, maybe expand also along the West Coast to either Washington or Stanford?
Yeah, I mean, for starters, I think USD showed the most interest in me and showed the most that it was a school that I felt like I had the best chance of playing my freshman year and contributing to the team early, and uh, you know playing at a high level. Yeah, USD isn't the big time football school, and you don't get that full experience. But as a baseball team, we played the best of the best, and every year we scheduled we scheduled Vanderbilt, and we scheduled Mississippi State, and we scheduled these big time schools. And um, for me, it was the opportunity that I felt like, hey, I could play as a freshman, I could help this team out early, and I could still play the best competition. Where some of these other schools, it felt like felt like I didn't see the same level of commitment that that USD wanted to put in me for you know where they saw me playing and where and how they saw me contributing. So honestly, that kind of made it an easy decision because um, I think anywhere you can go that you can play early and you can play great competition is a great thing. So um, I I had a great experience there. I had a ton of great teammates that I'm still talking to today, and there's still a few of us out there in pro ball that we'll run into, and it's always great catching up. Um, and still hit with some of the players in the off season, and work with some of the coaches too. So it's been a great experience, and I'm thoroughly glad that I made that choice to go there because honestly, I don't think I'd be where I am today if it wasn't for that decision.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like it worked out for the best going there over somewhere like a Vanderbilt. Um, so you were drafted in 2017. You made your debut in 2021, correct? So
Yeah,
you spent a nice couple years down there in the minors. Was there any point in that span where you were like, I don't know if this is going to happen for me?
I don't think it ever got to that point, but yeah, there's certainly lows. Minor league baseball is tough. You're not making a lot of money, and you're in these small towns traveling a lot, and yeah, it's a difficult world, and you're playing. It's once you get to the minor leagues, that's your first taste of playing every single day. You're playing 140 games, and um, yeah, it's kind of your first test of, hey, sometimes you just have. I mean, I had some stretches in the minor leagues where I jokingly went 0 for the week, and yeah, there's some tough times for sure. Um, where yeah, you're you're almost wondering when the next time you're going to get a hit is, um, but no, there's no point that I was really you know wondering if this wasn't going to work, because in my head that it's not how it works. It's not uh there's if I'm committed to something, I'm going full out, and I'm gonna go until someone tells me um that I can't. So I can't say there was ever really a point that was like, I didn't think I could make it, because I always believed myself and I always believed in my abilities. But there are certainly some lows of struggles and things like that. But ultimately, I think the find success in the more you get through those and work through those, the stronger off you'll be.
So when I was looking around, just trying to figure out some more things on you, I saw that out of high school, you were drafted in the 37th round, pick 1,099 overall to the Cubs. And then you decided to go to college. You played at USD for 3 years, and you proceeded to jump to round 3, pick 99 overall. How, like, mentally was that kind of, I mean, that's obviously a huge accomplishment to jump 1,000 picks, but I guess just mentally in that moment, what was kind of running through your head, and like just the accomplishments of your family and everything?
Yeah, that was a huge day. Obviously, every kid dreams of being drafted and getting to pro ball. But but yeah, that was pretty special. And I think that just is kind of a reflection of of my time at USD, and my the work I did, and the help I had from coaches, and uh, getting myself as good as I can be. And um, yeah, I owe a ton of credit to a lot of people at USD for the work they did, and uh, you know what they were able to get out of me and how they were able to coach me. And um, yeah, that's a big piece. You know, to go there, and I felt like coming out of high school, looking at the draft, I kind of felt like I was I felt like mentally I was ready for pro ball and, whatever was to come, but physically I think I was still maturing and, still had to grow into my body. I was a little bit of a late bloomer. So um, I think I think going to college and kind of letting the physical element develop and get bigger, get stronger, and continue to work on those mechanics were huge for my development and uh, and allowing myself to be in that position when I got drafted the second time in college.
Well, that's awesome. That's a great story to go from here to there is just that's incredible. Um, June 28th, 2021, major league debut. Who'd you play against? Who'd you face in your first at bat? And did you get your first major league hit and who was it against?
Yeah, my debut was in Chicago. We were playing the White Sox, um, and it was interesting because I was already on the 40-man roster, and one of the catchers uh, got hurt the day before, so I flew out to Chicago, and when I flew out there, it wasn't a guarantee. It was hey, Riley, fly out to Chicago, and one of our catchers is hurt, but we're not sure if we're gonna have to put him on the injured list or if we're gonna just rest him a couple of days. So I was kind of flying out as a kind of a just in case sort of situation. So I flew out, and the next day I came to the field, still not really sure. It was kind of just a go to the field and see what happens. And you know, probably about 3 or 4 hours before the game was when they called me into the office and let me know that uh, not only was I being activated and added to the big league roster, but I was also starting that night. So uh, that was that was pretty quick whirlwind of emotions there because I didn't have that. I guess it was probably a good thing because I didn't have time to like overthink things and think about the moment and stuff because I had to get ready to go play a game that night. And thankfully I had all my family and friends they kind of flew out to Chicago and they in a hopes that was the case. But yeah, so I was able to I got the starting nod, and I was catching Robbie Ray, who went on to win the Cy Young last year, and uh, he was a good a veteran pitcher to have to kind of help calm my nerves, honestly. Um, and on the mound for the White Sox was Carlos Rodon, so um, it was quite a challenge going up there. I mean, he's a guy that throws high 90s fastballs with a pretty wipeout slider. And yeah, I mean, I'll still remember that debut for the rest of my life. But that very first inning, there's not gonna lie, there was times that I didn't know what was going on. The game was going so fast, and I forgot to count half the times when I was calling pitches. But yeah, I got through that first inning, and kind of took a deep breath and settled in, and helped relax me a little bit. But yeah, my first at bat, Rodon got the best of me, struck me out. I thought I worked a decent at bat with him and saw some pitches, but come second at bat, I felt like being able to see him a little bit that first time gave me a better look at him, and I was able to get a hit in my second at bat, double off the center field wall. So that was a good moment, and it was kind of nice to cross that first hit off the list in game one, and I think that kind of helps you relax a little bit and not get too stressed about finding that first knock. So that was a pretty wild moment. Definitely a game I'll remember for the rest of my life, but it was special, and I was just glad that I could have my family there in the stands, and they were there to support me. And yeah, that's a pretty special moment that I know a lot of kids dream of, and it's definitely something I'll remember forever.
Yeah, your family must have been going wild, a double off the center field wall to start it off. It's a pretty good way to start an MLB career right there. I mean, any career, honestly.
Yeah, no, it was special. I didn't even know they were going to do it. But my parents and and brother and family and stuff, they wore old minor league jerseys and things like that from years past that I wore as a kind of a memento of kind of all the places I've been in the journey to get to the big league. So it's kind of funny. Uh, they managed to round up some jerseys and wear those for in support for me. So it was a pretty special moment for sure.
That's awesome. All right, kind of move into a little bit more of a, I guess I wouldn't say touchy question, but a little bit of a, hard hitting one. You play for the Nationals now, you played for the Blue Jays before. What is the best and the worst thing about playing in Washington?
Ooh, well, the best thing about playing in Washington, I mean, I I hadn't spent much time in DC just to begin with, but I mean, I think the city as a whole is just a great place. And you're obviously in our nation's capital, and it's pretty powerful just kind of going around the city and seeing all the monuments and seeing all the people, and just kind of an empowering city to be in. I mean, also, I think another plus about DC is you're playing in the NL East, and you're playing against some great competition. And you got the Mets, you got the Braves, obviously who won the World Series last year, and you got the Phillies, you got the Marlins. Like there's just great teams across the board. And so it's always a good challenge every day. You're going out there and you're seeing those guys a ton, and you're seeing some great pitching. You're playing against some great players, so it's certainly a challenge. I guess if there was anything that was a negative about playing in DC, and I think this is me just being biased because I'm used to Southern California weather, but sometimes in the summers it gets a little hot and humid, uh, and it makes you sweat a little bit more. But if anything, that was probably the only negative that I could think of. But overall, no, it's a great place to be. And yeah, I'll gladly sweat it out in the summers to play in DC for sure.
And I'm gonna ask the same thing about Toronto. Best and worst things about being there.
Yeah, well, I guess my time with Toronto, at least in the big leagues, was pretty short. Only played only played a month up there, and honestly, I never got to actually play in Toronto.
Oh, that's right, because it was during all the COVID stuff. You guys were
Yeah,
in
so
Buffalo.
last year during COVID, um, so I guess you could say that's the worst thing about playing in Toronto is I never got to play in the actual city. You know, I was up in Toronto a little bit, and a couple of years ago we were there for some of the Winter Fest and kind of fan experiences there. So I got to see the city and meet a lot of people, and I think that's probably a huge plus of Toronto. I'd say is it's a really cool city. You get really passionate fans, and it's pretty cool representing an entire country like that. But yeah, I'd probably say the worst thing is that we never got to, or me personally, I never got to play up there in my short time. So yeah, I would have liked to play in Toronto, but the timing just wasn't right.
I completely forgot that last year was like, the coat. Y'all were down in Buffalo. Yeah, but all right, let's move on. We've got just like a couple more questions and then we're gonna finish this thing out.
Sure.
Who so far in the major league is the best pitcher that you faced or struggled the most with just overall?
The best pitcher I've faced. Gosh, you see a lot. I mean, it's tough facing. I mean, Edwin Diaz for closer for the Mets is pretty good, and it's a tough at bat when you see him coming in, and you're gonna get some hard heaters and some pretty good off speed stuff. So he's a pretty good one to face, and he's a great challenge, honestly. Um, yeah, he's probably one of the tougher ones out there to go up there and face.
Give me 1 second. This is one of the technical difficulties of going on Zoom live. All right.
Oh, oh, no worries.
All right, cool. So, all right, so Edwin Diaz, that guy is incredible. I love watching him play. All right, so then the question that everybody wants to always hear at the end is, what is the best advice you have for these younger guys who are watching this right now, who are chasing the same dream you chased?
Yeah, honestly, a huge thing that I know we've already discussed, but I'd say just, go out there and have fun when you're a kid. Go out there and try a bunch of different things, play a bunch of different sports. I I think that was huge for my development. You know, I think basketball ultimately helped me be a better athlete, be a better baseball player. And and it pains me when I see these kids that just want to play one or commit to one sport at such a young age, because it's so easy to get burnt out, and it's so easy uh, to kind of lose that interest and lose that love. So that's definitely a huge thing that I'll tell anybody is if you're considering playing a sport in the fall, or having some fun in high school, or even or younger especially, give it a try, have some fun. There's plenty of time to to commit to baseball, I guess, if that's the ultimate sport you want to play. And there's plenty of time to do that, but when you're younger, go enjoy, go have fun. And I think if I had to give another piece of advice, I think just have fun. uh it's it's pretty special to play baseball for a living for me. And you know I'm grateful for it. We get to I get to go out there and put on a costume and play a kid's game for a living. So it's special. But I think you just gotta go out there and have fun. You gotta go enjoy it. You know you gotta make sure that every day you're loving what you do, and you're 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 just enjoying it. Because I think you get too serious about things, and that's when you start to get burnt out. That's when you start to get to lose interest, when you're forgetting about the fun of things. So uh yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. Those are probably some of the big things that I would say, and some things I've seen from other kids and things like that is, yeah, just sports. Be you know at the same time, be coachable and be inquisitive. Ask questions of coaches. And uh you know they're whatever coaches are around you, they're there to help you, and they're there to help you grow. So be coachable, and be open to learning and asking questions of these guys.
Well, Riley, thank you so much for coming on today and taking the time out of your busy schedule to hop on here and just talk a little bit about yourself and where you are in the game, and just giving us a little more knowledge on everything. Yeah, well, I really appreciate it, and best of luck tonight against Miami. I hope you guys crush it. And yeah, I mean, just again, thank you for hopping on this, and just giving everyone a little bit more baseball knowledge. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate it, Bear. It's been a good way to start the morning for sure. So thanks
Yes,
for having
sir.
me on.
Absolutely. I will talk to you later, and good luck tonight.
All right. Thank you.